Thank you, Richard. To be clear, we're not just the Lauderdale Chamber, we're the Mid-Maine Chamber. So Norridgewock is part of our chamber, so thank you for having us. It's amazing to see this project finally come to fruition. I've served on the board of Kennebec Valley Tourism Council for over 23 years, as did my predecessor, David Savage of Skowhegan. He served on it for 8 years before that. My colleague, Christina Cannon from Main Street Skowhegan is here. I think she's vice chair or marketing, or we keep switching positions, but happy to have her joining us as well. This is a huge deal for outdoor recreation in our region. 32 miles of former rail were acquired from Pan Am Railways, now known as the Madison branch, with rail and tie removal beginning in 2021. The extension of this trail spans from Oakland through Norridgewock to Emden. This serves as a connector to larger trails, opening recreational travel. Accessing the ITS snowmobile trails or the main ATV trail system connects Norridgewock to places near and far, Oxford and Franklin, Piscataquis, and Penobscot counties. It should be noted that 8 million pounds of steel and 12 million pounds of ties were removed to create this trail. Proceeds from the sale of rails and ties helped to fund this conversion. I just think that's so cool. With a $508,000 grant from the Land for Maine's Future and a matching grant from the Northern Borders Regional Commission, this conversion was made possible, bringing us to this moment today. But this transformation could not have occurred without the strong support of the bordering municipalities, especially Norridgewock and Anson, and the ATV and snowmobile clubs. The clubs have donated thousands of hours of volunteer time, for which we're all truly grateful. In particular, I'd like to call out ATV Program Director Brian Bronson, who's here in the green, and Snowmobile Director Joe Higgins for their vital roles in making this happen. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank Somerset County Commissioner Robert Cizak for joining us here today. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce the Director of the Bureau of Parks and Land, which operates under the oversight of the Maine Department of Agriculture, Forestry, and Conservation. The Bureau of Parks and Lands oversees the ATV and snowmobile programs, and again, we're so thankful for their contributions to this conversion to shape this trail adaptation. Please join me in welcoming its Director, Andy Cutco. Andy?
Good afternoon, and thank you, Kim, and thank you, Kim and Richard, for directing the thunderstorms on either side of Norridgewock for the next half an hour. It's so great to see you all today. One of the benefits of being in a position like mine is you get to take a small amount of credit for some really wonderful ideas that are created and supported and implemented by others. And Kim has done a nice job of, I think, thanking all the partners who were involved in this project, really from local elected officials to state legislators. You'll hear from a couple of them today, and our congressional delegation. So we really all worked as a team to make sure that this project was going to be successful. Most of all, the volunteers. Many of you are here from as club volunteers from snowmobile and ATV programs, and you're not only what drives this trail, but drives ATV and snowmobile trails across the state. So thank you so much. You've had a really challenging several months with the storms we endured, and we appreciate all of your work. In closing, I do want to just say that if there is such a thing as a Lifetime Achievement Award, and you can name a trail or give a trail to a Lifetime Achievement Award, that would be to Mr. Brian Bronson. Brian is going to be retiring in July after 37 years working for the State Department of Agriculture, Conservation, and Forestry. And I've done forestry and conservation work for more than 30 years in Maine and elsewhere. And I can tell you that I've never met an individual that was as dedicated and passionate about what he does as Brian. So we are all standing here today, and we're all going to be using this trail for years to come because of all of you and certainly because of Brian Bronson. So thank you for the hand for Brian. He's been just a real force in getting this all done. And thanks to our funders as well. As Kim mentioned, the Land for Maine's Future program and Northern Border Regional Commission have been instrumental in making this happen. So thank you very much, and we're on to the next speaker.
Thank you, Andy. Next, please join me in welcoming Representative Jack Ducharme of District 71. His district includes Madison, Norridgewock, and Cornville, and he serves on the Appropriations Committee, so be nice to him. Representative Ducharme.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you all very much for coming today. This truly is really a momentous occasion. I remember being on the Board of Selectmen in Madison many years ago and having conversations about doing this. At that time, Madison Paper was operating, so there was still a bit of train traffic going through here. It was going very slowly because you couldn't go more than 3 miles an hour, 4 miles an hour on the train track. So to go from that prior to 2016 to what we're seeing today is just absolutely incredible. As Kim mentioned, I am on the ranking Republican on the Appropriations Committee of the state legislature. We've done everything that we could to provide funding. There's one more thing that we need to do, and you can help us with this. In November, on your ballot, there will be, it's called the Trails Bond. It's a $30 million Trails Bond. And what that will do is that Trails Bond is designed to help trails like this and other types of recreational trails across the state of Maine over the next 5 years. To give you a sense for those of us that hate to borrow money, I need to tell you that in the last couple of years, we have retired over $200 million in bonds at the state. So our debt load is fairly low, and to add $30 million to it isn't really significant. The other hat that I wear, as I said, I was on the Board of Selectmen at Madison, but the other hat that I wear is I'm very close to the town manager of Madison, who couldn't be here today. And so she asked me to just convey congratulations for this. We're just so looking forward to these connections. Our towns are connected in that I'm the representative of both, but there are so many Madison, Norridgewock connections, and this is just one more of those. Monday night at the Madison Town Meeting, Madison voters will be voting on an act to open up our city, our town streets for ATV traffic so that we can get ATVs to some of the businesses. And so that's kind of a cool thing. So if you're in Norridgewock, keep your fingers crossed that the voters do the right thing. If you're in Madison, tell everybody to vote yes on the streets thing for the ATVs. And congratulations.
Thank you, Representative Ducharme. Now I'd like you to join me, and please put your hands together to welcome Senator Brad Farron of Senate District 3. He represents the citizens of, and this is a long list, Canaan, Detroit, Madison, Norridgewock, Palmyra, Pittsfield, Benton, Unity, Skowhegan, oh, I put Benton in there twice, Clinton, Dixmont, Etna, Newport, Plymouth, and Stetson. And he serves on the Transportation Committee. Brad?
Thank you, Kim. So I just got a couple things, right? First term representative down in Augusta, didn't even know where the bathrooms were. And representing Madison, Norridgewock, and Solon, and was at the American Legion post up in Madison. And Jeff Ireland, Jeff, raise your hand, came to me with a sketch on a piece of paper, a piece of napkin, and said, "What do you think about the rail trail?" And I had no clue. And he explained to me. So we reached out to the department, Brian, and I'm telling you folks right now, if it wasn't for Jeff and Brian, we would not be here today. So please give both of those gentlemen a round of applause. Brian helped me navigate through the two administrations, LePage and Governor Mills' administration. Jeff kept the rail folks going, the trail folks going, and it's just amazing. On top of that, one of the things that we just did in transportation this last time, right? $600,000 we took from the gas tax, $600,000 towards ATV programs, $200,000 towards the snowmobiles. So we're trying to do that funding piece. But I have one quick ask from you before we move on, and that is, this is a multi-use trail. We talk a lot about ATVs, we talk a lot about snowmobiles, but this is a multi-use trail. That's the only way we could get this done. So we need to be respectful of our neighbors and our friends and everybody utilizes this trail, because it's everybody's. So I just asked for that, because we put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this, and this is awesome. This is great. So thank you.
So now we get to do the fun part. Everybody that wants to be in this ribbon cutting can be in this ribbon cutting. We're going to extend it probably from here to here. So you just need to get behind the ribbon. So those who want to be in it, please come forward. Thank you.
You have to. David over. Come on, David. You two up there can go side. Go on. I'm not. Come on, you guys are the other side of there. No. That's okay.
That's you.
Go ahead. You guys can all take
Look, it's about to rain soon. Hurry up.
Yeah, this will be in a book someday. Run over.
You're famous. Go.
Yeah, you should definitely be in that. Yes, you should. Oh my God. Hurry up. Come on. Shelby will go with you. Go stand with David. Come on. I'll take your picture. Come on. You got this.
Amanda should be up there. She represents
Yes, Amanda.
business in town. Go.
Yeah, you can.
Brenda, this will never happen again. Come on. Get up there.
I'm not poster, so I want to be sure when I send it to all the people who know. Come on, anybody else?
I think these two. Yes. We wouldn't be here.
Lisa.
There you go. I like it.
Okay, so we're gonna fake it. Look at Jenny, she's in white. This is faking it. So,
Which one?
you wanna do the 1, 2, 3, Jenny? So you get
Yes, I'd love to do the 1, 2, 3. 1,
cut yet.
2, 3.
Ready for the cut?
Yes.
Do 1, 2, 3 again, and now you guys can.
1, 2, 3.